Good morning and welcome to Harford County Living. My name is Rich Bennett. Brought to you by Town Grill and Pub in the Joppatown Shopping Plaza, where actually, if you don't have anything to do for Thanksgiving, they have a nice buffet dinner out there, which is $8.99 for reservation or at the door for $9.99. Turkey, ham, stuffing. It's just like eating at Mom's. It's just a nice spread out. So visit them at Town Grill and Pub. That's town.com. TownGrillandPub.com, 410-538-4665. Before I introduce our guest, one of the things we talked about last week was about supporting local businesses, supporting other local businesses. And we had the privilege that night to DJ an event for to help benefit the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's research. There were a ton of local businesses there supporting Ben's Tire Sales down there in Job because they were the ones that put it on, because unfortunately Ben Hayes, the owner, has Parkinson's. But you had Four Seasons Nursery and Landscape Services there, Bobby's Portable Restrooms, just to name a few, Sherwood Amusement. So that's the whole thing about supporting local. And they showed up and raised over $15,000, only the second year they did it too. But this week we have two local organizations that, of course, need help. We have Wendy Langford from Loving the Lost Boys, and also Lynn Jacquet. Did I get it right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, from Sage. So we're going to turn it over to Wendy. Wendy, tell us a little bit about Loving the Lost Boys.
Well, Loving the Lost Boys was a ministry birthed out of our desire to help a really vulnerable community. My husband and I had been involved in orphan care ministry, and we had gone to a conference where we heard kids that had aged out of foster care as adults talk about the influence in their life of the people in the church and the people outside of the church, and just the desperate need that they have once they exit the system to just meet basic needs and to develop like all of the skills and things that are necessary to make them successful. Right. So we kind of not by chance, but we kind of had an interaction with a young man who was a friend of one of our old youth group kids, and he was about to age out of the system. In Maryland, they can choose to age out at 18, but most people age out at 21.
Now, when you say age out, that means they actually have to leave the system?
They leave the system. All of the benefits, apart from medical, they get some medical care until they're in their, I guess, 25, I think, 25.
So if they're at a foster home, they age out.
They're done. They're done. They're essentially homeless. And the statistics are just staggering. Kids that age out of foster care, it's like 85% of the young men end up incarcerated or having trouble with
85%?
Yes, it's a really huge, it's a huge number. And so there's a great need. And so we kind of had our hearts and eyes opened by this young man that came to live with us. And through his interaction with our family, we realized that there's a real need for people to embrace these boys and girls as one of their family, but also to provide the network that they need in order to have success,
right,
and be a part of the community.
So job skills and
absolutely.
All that.
So we, as a ministry at Loving the Lost Boys, do the kind of foundational family setup that I think a lot of these guys have been lacking for so long. So we just integrate them into our normal family life. But we also partner with an organization called the Open Table,
right,
who sets up a table around the person. It's kind of like a board of directors, but these people all volunteer to be a part of this person's life for an hour a week for a year, and the young person is able to set goals and make plans, and then with the help of the table kind of accomplish those goals. So
an hour a week?
An hour a week. So it's not a huge commitment, and there's no training. You don't have to be there's no prerequisite training. There is training involved with Open Table, but anyone can do it, as long as, I think they say that as long as you're 21 and you're making your way in life, you can be a part of an Open Table. So
and have a positive attitude. I would think.
Right.
That definitely comes in handy.
Yeah. So we just see that the social services do such a difficult job of providing the things that these kids need.
Really?
But we know that things, and we've seen that things aren't enough, that relationship is really what changes lives. And so our heart is to just really walk alongside these boys. Now, we do boys at our home. The whole point of Loving the Lost Boys, because the young men in the system are often the most vulnerable because they have a greater lack of
discipline, maybe? Or?
Well, no, I think they just have, they already come with a lot of preconceived notions about them.
Okay.
And so because they've aged out of the system, a lot of people are really hesitant to work with them.
That's a shame.
But we would love to see someone pick up the torch and do the same for young women. We'd love for this to be a reproducible model so that we can show other people that we have one boy in our house that we've integrated into our family life, and that you could do it too. We don't receive any funds from the state. It's all through donations.
I was going to ask, can people donate to help?
Yes, they can. We have nonprofit status, so anybody that makes a donation, it's a tax deductible.
And they can do that just going, was it LoveTheLostBoys.com?
LovingTheLostBoys.com. Yes.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk to Lynn about the Sage Group, and then actually you two might be able to hook up and help each other out. You never know.
Absolutely.
See that? You're listening to Harford County Living right here on 1330 1047 The Point. Welcome back to Harford County Living right here on 1330 1047 The Point, brought to you by Town Grill and Pub in the Joppatown Shopping Plaza. Once again, Thanksgiving Day from 3 to 8. They are going to have their buffet dinner there. You can reserve a spot for $8.99. At the door, it's $9.99, and it's basically all you can eat. And believe me, the food is awesome. I went there last year for it and enjoyed myself. It was very debating whether to go there again, but I think if I do, I'll get yelled at, so I won't. Hi, Lynn. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Richie?
I'm doing good. I'd like to welcome Lynn from the Sage Group. Lynn and I worked together years ago, so we were just reminiscing about that during the break. But tell us about the Sage Group.
Okay, first of all, Richie, I'd like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to come on your show this morning so that we can promote the Sage Group, so that we can get the word out about what we do and our services so we can help more of our clientele, because more and more we're running into people that's always asking the question, what is Sage? What do you do? So I think just awareness, people just getting the word out, networking more. And so this is a wonderful opportunity to, explain to our Harford County residents exactly what we do. So first of all, the first question people always ask is, what does Sage mean? Sage actually stands for the Sharon Ann Gross Educational Group. And Sharon Ann Gross was a dedicated Harford County educator who had a passion about helping the youth in the community. So she contacted our executive director, Boo Chrisma, who has decided to carry out the vision of what Sharon Gross had for the youth in Harford County. Okay. Sharon Ann is no longer with us, but we want to make sure that we carry out her vision, and that was to help the youth. So what we do, our mission is to provide educational and vocational and life skill programs to at-risk youth here in Harford County. And we do that by partnership with the Harford County Public Schools and Harford Community College. Anytime a youth drops out of Harford County Public Schools, they refer them to our sister program, which is called Reconnecting Youth. We pay for that youth to get a GED. And sometimes if they're not ready to pass that GED examination, there's GED, pre-GED classes that they can take at Harford Community College. We pay for those as well. Once they obtain a GED, or if they do have our clients do have a high school diploma, we will pay for them to take a trade certification at Harford Community College.
Really?
And yes, and we do so by paying 100% of the tuition. We pick up the cost of the books, and at the time they are going through their trade certification, we're offering services such as one-on-one tutoring, case management. We job coach the client as well to make sure that they have job readiness skills. We pay for them to take driving school. We also provide financial classes, because we do find that some of our clientele do need to the skills of budgeting and time management. So we incorporate.
Where have you been all my life?
Now, you said you paid. Now, do they have to reimburse you at all, or
no? They do not.
So it's all taken care of.
Yeah, it's all taken care of. We are a nonprofit agency. We are grant funded. We are grant funded. So all our services are taken care of.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you know. And right now our target population is we're helping youth between the ages 17 and 24. So if you know someone, a cousin, a niece, a nephew, or any youth who is on the road to nowhere, please send them to us, because what we do is we try to instill hope in these youth, motivation, encourage them. We do a little bit of hand holding, but the goal is to lead them to become self-sufficient and to help them accomplish all their educational and vocational goals.
Now, how would somebody get a hold of you?
Yes, actually, that's a good question. We do have a website that we encourage everyone to visit so you can learn more about the services that we offer. And it is www.sagelearning.org. And we also have a Facebook page called the Sage Group. So I do encourage everyone to visit our Facebook page. And we like to also, we have a lot of partners and we have these great services. But for example, we do have some students that come to us that do not meet the eligibility requirements.
Right.
Sometimes, and we would love to extend our walls outside the borders of Harford County, and maybe sometime help a student in Cecil County or Baltimore County. That is one of our mission goals. But if they come to us today, we hate to turn a student away. So we do encourage donations. We try to set up fundraisers. So we would love to have a pool of funds where we can go into it and say, hey, look, even though you don't meet our basic requirements, we would like to still offer this service to you. So we encourage, donations because we need it to help those who are beyond the age of 24 or, younger than 17. And we do have those. We do have those students. Yeah.
And I was going to, with that, do you get, and I guess actually this question is for both of you. Actually, I'll ask it and then let you think about it. When we come back, you can answer. But do you get a lot of donations or support from local businesses in the county? Think about that, and then, if you don't, what can we do in order to get them to donate and help out? And, if it's other organizations that do, then, but think about that, because that's, seems like that's something that always has been a problem, not just in our county, but everywhere. Once again, you're listening to Harford County Living right here on 1330 1047 The Point. Welcome back to Harford County Living, brought to you by Town Grill and Pub, where once again I'm going to remind y'all, for Thanksgiving, if you have nothing to do, head on down there from 3 to 8. They're going to have the buffet set up. You can reserve your spot now for $8.99 or pay $9.99 at the door. It's all you can eat, and believe me, the food is delicious. Call them at 410-538-4665 or go to towngrillandpub.com. That's town with an E, Towne. One of the things I want to mention too is you can always get a hold of Wendy or Lynn by going to their websites, lovingthelostboys.com, and the Sage Group is www.sagelearning.org. Sagelearning.org. Okay. And I will have the link for both of their websites up on our video, on our website when we put the video up there. So I asked you both if you're getting local support from businesses. I know you get it from individuals, but since you're both based here in Harford County, how is the support from local businesses coming, or is it?
We have a big fundraiser. I say big. We're not very good at organizing that sort of thing. We have other gifts. But we do a fundraiser called Knoxtoberfest every October, where we host a wiffle ball tournament, and it's a family fun day.
Okay.
It's more just for fun. It started to kind of celebrate the adoption of our little guy that has Down syndrome. But it's kind of morphed into this other fundraiser to kind of support Loving the Lost Boys and what we do. And so we have friends that are a part of the business called Interversant, and they sponsored our T-shirts this year.
Okay.
Along with some other local businesses, were able to provide the T-shirts for us so that we could just recoup the revenue from that. Other than that, we really depend on, we have totally been subsisting on individual donations. Because we're a faith-based organization, people, sometimes churches will support us, but we haven't had much interaction. Town Grill and Pub, Linda from Town Grill and Pub is an old friend of our family, and we're going to set up a paint night where we do. I know it's such a girly thing, but
no, it's. I mean, they do them all the time, and it gets. We talked about this last week. It gets to the point to where they have to add extra classes.
Yeah, it's
because
awesome.
They sell out.
Well, Linda's super talented, but
yeah, I taught her well.
So they volunteer. She's volunteered to help us do one of those, and that will probably be in the spring. But other than that, we really haven't. We haven't had much support from local businesses, and I think maybe they just don't know how best to support us.
Right.
Financially is really, we have a 501c3 umbrella, so we take financial donations. We can take in-kind donations, but we haven't really done much of that because our ministry is so small. We only have 2 boys at our home.
Right.
And then part of the ministry is that we interact with the boys in our home, their circle of friends.
Okay.
So people have donated mattresses and material needs that we have,
which are important too.
Which are very important.
Yeah.
And so that's a way that local businesses could help is to donate goods or services. We live in a very old farmhouse.
Okay.
And because of the nature of our ministry, we live on support, and so it's hard for us to take the support need that we have and apply it to keeping up this house. And so if anybody has landscaping,
carpentry skills, anything like that,
all of those things are really necessary.
Yeah, a lot of businesses don't realize it's little things like that they can donate that help out a lot.
Yeah, and you know what else would be helpful? Our guys that come through our home really need to be mentored by men in business.
Right.
And
like Big Brother program.
Sure. And so even for a business to be able to take on one of our guys as an apprentice, or just to kind of take one of our guys under their wing to
teach them something,
learn a trade, or
that's actually a great idea.
That would probably be more helpful than even material goods.
Right.
Because it gives the boys, first of all, they're developing relationships with men in the community, but also, and not just men, women too, but a lot of these boys have not had male figures in their lives. None of them have had fathers that we've encountered have had fathers that were involved. So, stuff is important, but relationships more important to us. But we exist. We have to feed our guys and provide for their material needs. So businesses can really help out in that way.
What about you, Lynn? I know when we worked together in the past, it seems like we had, that was always a problem.
Right, yeah.
What about for the SAGE Group?
Well, like I said, the SAGE Group is a program that is grant funded. However, there are other services that we really need extra funding to provide these services to our clientele. And we have established good partnerships in the community with other nonprofits that support our mission and our programs. But it would be great to get support from the local businesses. And I think, again, it's because they don't know who we are. So it is great to get this opportunity, get the voice out, and, do more networking. And the way that a local business can help the SAGE Group and is to help build our clientele. Because, when our grants at the end of the year when the auditors come in and really look at the programs, they like to look to see how many clients that we did successfully help, and so we want to, continue to build, our programs and build what we do. And so if again, a youth who is on the road to nowhere, whether it's a sister, brother, niece, or nephew, refer them to our program, refer them to the SAGE group. And again, yes, we need donations, because if we do have a client who is not, do not meet the requirements to come into our program, we will go into that extra funding, those scholarship funds, or that pool of fund where we can say, okay, you not meet the age requirement, or you might not be a Harford County resident, or you may not, and a big one is the income poverty guideline. If they're over the income, and we do look at that, you have to, we base it upon the income poverty guideline. If they're over the income poverty guideline, but however, they still say, hey, look, I still can't afford, college, I still can't afford, we can go into that extra funding. So, we're looking for donations as well. We have a PayPal link on our website.
Okay.
That you're able to, you're able
make
to
donations.
Make donations.
Isn't that awesome?
So, yeah.
I mean, it's awesome that we have PayPal nowadays, that we can do.
Yeah.
It's so easy to donate.
Right.
Where in the past we'd be writing a check, but we have that same capability on our website.
Oh, PayPal is great. I love it.
A PayPal donation, which is
love
awesome.
I love it. Well, I want to thank you both for coming out today. And once again, people, please, it's important to help the local organizations. And you can give us your websites again.
We are www.lovingthelostboys.com.
Okay, and Lynn?
And ours is www.sagelearning.org. And we also have a Facebook page as well.
Okay. And you'll be able to find them both on HarfordCountyLiving.com. Once the video goes up, they will be linked on there as well as on our YouTube channel. Make sure you come back next week. We are going to be talking to a young man who has started a website called HarfordTeenVolunteer.com for teenagers, in the county that have volunteer projects that they're doing, as well as a very young lady who is starting her own business. So join us right back here again next week on Saturday, 11 o'clock on 104.7 and 1330 The Point.